Hello warriors. In this series of videos, we are now going to discuss how the final syllabus for direct taxes looks like and what is the changes between the final syllabus to the inter-syllabus. For your ease, I have captured both the syllabus of old and the new in a single slide, and I'll show it to you with a quick comparison of what the difference looks like. By the way, for those who have gone through the inter video, just to clarify, unfortunately the final material has still not been notified by ICA. We're still waiting on it from the portal, and therefore I don't know how the study material will at least look like right now. I have not been able to analyze the study material and give you an input, but yes, judging by the inter material at least, I'm expecting that the final material will also be a little colorful, bring in all those crosswords and extra things for you to be excited about, but the material is still going to remain the same with those hefty kind of pages and the voluminous chapters. Let's get into the subject. On the left side you have your old syllabus, on the right side you have your new syllabus. I'm going to quickly enlarge to understand what the old syllabus looks like first. On the left side you have something called as basics of charge, residential status, income which does not form part of total income, heads of income, income from other sources, which means your clubbing, your aggregation of income, set off and carry forward, deduction from total income, rebates and relief. This is what you had, and then it says special provisions relating to companies and certain persons other than companies. This is what in your old syllabus was. Coming to the right side, the first thing which I straightforward noticed is that now they don't have the first para. If you notice in the first para, they have this basis of charge, residential status, etc., etc. And if you notice your final old syllabus material, you will realize that every single provision is given to you, right from individuals to your other persons. Everything was given to you. It looked like a very voluminous material with no understanding of what you have to read and how much you have to read. The one good thing at least I'm noticing from the new syllabus is that the start itself says comprehensive computation of income tax liabilities of companies and other entities under the alternative tax regime under the Income Tax Act to optimize tax liability, which means at least my assumption right now is that the new syllabus final level material will not have the whole Income Tax Act dumped into it like it was earlier. They will focus only on companies and those other kind of persons other than individuals which are not there in your inter syllabus, and therefore the material could be a little smaller, giving you more clarity on the fact that you don't have to read everything when it comes to your final level direct taxes, and you can now only focus on company. While they were silently doing it earlier also, now they are explicitly clarifying it. One good move is what I would say, but yes, like I said, the study material is still not available in the portal, so it's a little too early to judge. But at least from the syllabus you can realize that only companies are now being targeted when it comes to computation of total income, along with obviously the other persons like AOP, BOI, trust and all those people, because that was anyway there in the final level syllabus. Next thing, they're coming and saying general provisions under the Income Tax Act for computation of total income and tax liability for companies, special tax regimes for both companies and other entities, optimization of tax liability of company and other entities through tax planning. Now this is something which is new. This is something which I would have discussed in the inter also, but now it's also there in finals as well. Going forward, at least my assumption, like I told you in your transition wala video, that they are not now focusing only on giving you straightforward questions and asking you to compute taxes. Questions are going to be a little different and tricky right now, where they might expect you to act like an auditor who people are approaching as a tax consultant, and now you will have to give them recommendations on how the tax can be lower or it can be paid optimally, or what kind of errors they have made in their computation of total income, and you will have to give them recommendation. Optimizing tax liability are those kind of questions, which means now things are going to be a lot more challenging for you, because unless you know the concepts properly, no set of questions which you might have done will help you anymore. This is one thing which could become very significant to you. Next thing, on the left side you have something called as provisions relating to charitable and religious trust, political parties and electoral trust. I think that's the same thing here as well. Yeah, charitable, religious trust, political parties, electoral trust, business trust, securitization, investment fund, other trust, everything is the same. Tax planning, tax avoidance and tax evasion remains the same in your new syllabus as well, so anti-avoidance provisions are still there. Next, collection and recovery of tax refunds. This is a new thing. This is a new thing. I notice here something called as provisions to address tax challenges of digitalization. Now this is a new thing, and I honestly don't know what they're talking about. If you ask me, I would say this is talking about the BEPS Pillar 2, which has now come into the BEPS Pillar 1, which is there notified nationwide, where they're talking about digital economy. But unfortunately, India has not notified many of such schemes. So I'm not sure what they're talking about. Are they going to look at from income tax perspective, or are they going to look at from global perspective? Highly doubtful. I'm not sure about this. But if they really are going to target you on the BEPS Action Plan 1, this is going to be extremely challenging. We'll have to wait and watch on what they're talking about here. But this is something which is very interesting. Digitalization is something which is changing the world as we speak right now. And if there is any kind of laws which they're going to discuss on this, if it becomes a global law, at least you will now become ready for global platforms, which will be a very good thing. But yes, at the same time, clearing becomes extremely challenging. That is also one side of the story. Anyway, coming back, the next thing is tax planning, avoidance and tax evasion. That is what we have already discussed. So moving to the next one, it says collection and recovery of tax and refunds. This is the same thing as TDS and TCS, so that's the same thing. Deduction, collection, and recovery of taxes. Income tax authorities, assessments, appeals, and revision. Same thing here. Income tax authorities, assessments, appeals, and revision. Dispute resolution is also the same. Settlement of tax cases, penalties, offences, and prosecution. Yeah. When it comes to penalties, offences, and prosecution, earlier it was something different. We just heard about the word penalties, offences, and prosecution. Now they're elaborating it in new syllabus. Notice this, no? It says provisions to counteract unethical tax practices. Instead of using the word penalties, prosecution, and all, now they're using fancy terms. Under that, if you notice, it says taxation of undisclosed income, all your illegal income, 115BB wala cases. Taxation of undisclosed foreign income and assets. Now, this is something very interesting. If you would remember, or for at least your seniors who might have done international taxation in your paper number 6C in old syllabus, you had something called as Black Money Act. You had something called as Black Money Act. Since it has now become a self-paced module, my assumption, Black Money Act has now become a part of your new syllabus itself. So Black Money Act is now going to be used or tested for you here itself, which means now you don't just have Income Tax Act and Equalization Levy to read, you might also have Black Money Act to read for your new syllabus. Penalties and offences and prosecution, the same thing which they have given. So basically 2 extra things are coming to you: undisclosed income and your Black Money Act. Undisclosed income in old syllabus was a part of your first chapter. In basics of income tax itself, they cover it off. Now they have separately given to you. Liabilities and special cases, miscellaneous provision and other provisions. Now they have not clarified what liabilities and special cases and all is. Miscellaneous provisions is the whole thing which they are giving. Ideally, if you ask me, everything is going to be the same thing. The next most interesting thing which at least I noticed is, now you have something called as tax audit. Now you have something called as tax audit. It looks like ICAI also realized that boss, tax audit is something which they should discuss in paper of direct tax and not in auditing. In auditing, unnecessary giving you tax audit chapter, asking you what clause number it is, how should an auditor verify and all, was too much nonsense. I think now they have moved from that pattern and realized it's an income tax thing. You should check with them in income tax, and so tax audit has now come to your final direct taxes. It will be scrapped out of your audit and will now be brought into your direct taxes. Ideally, till now at least if I notice, we have noticed 3 extra things coming in: digital economy, Black Money Act, and now tax audit has come, which means they might now for sure remove all those inter-level syllabus portions which are not relevant for finals, and your syllabus is expanding to these items. You have a lot more to read right now in your final level. Things are going to be very different. I mean, it's interesting for me, but I would leave it to your choice how you feel it, right? Anyway, coming to this, international taxation was 30 marks in your old syllabus. We had something called as non-resident taxation and international taxation. So in international taxation and non-resident, you had non-resident specific provisions, DTAA, transfer pricing, advance ruling. Coming to the right side, you have same thing: transfer pricing, non-resident taxation, double taxation relief, and advance ruling. Then you had something called as equalization levy, and these were those 3 useless, I wouldn't say useless, I mean it's wrong to say useless, but at least the dull, boring chapters of your international taxation: the model tax convention, the tax treaties, and your BEPS. People generally used to avoid all these. Now is it there in the new syllabus? Yes, you still have it in your new syllabus. Fundamentals of BEPS, tax treaties, and latest developments in international taxation is what you have. UN model conventions is here, which means I'm not sure, equalization levy is not separately clarified, but if you ask me, it's a part of non-resident taxation, which means it should be either here, or equalization levy will be covered in your digitalization. Either way, it can be either it will be covered in your digitalization, because e-commerce operator is a part of digitalization, so either it has moved there or it is a part here. It can mean either ways. I don't know how it will be. We'll have to wait and watch with the syllabus. But yes, your model tax conventions and all is there. The one extra thing which I might notice right now is your latest developments in international taxation, which means syllabus is expanding again. You had 3 boring chapters to read earlier, now you might have 4 boring chapters to read. If there is any kind of latest developments happening in international taxation, this will also come in now. Rahul, recently what is happening, you have this BEPS action plan 2 coming in, the minimum taxation coming into picture. Minimum taxation is something which is changing the market right now and is applicable from 2024, which ideally means that for your 2024, this is very likely to be there as a part of your syllabus, which means you have extra theories to also read right now. And that's it. Rahul, what other change do you notice? In your old syllabus, your direct taxation and international taxation was equally split between 70 and 30, but in your new syllabus there is nothing clarified on those thoughts. Everything has become 100 marks, so you don't know whether it will be 30 marks or not in this new syllabus. It could be 25-75, it could be 80-20, it could be 60-40 also. They have the freedom right now to do whatever they want, but yes, nothing has changed other than the fact that you still have 30 marks of MCQs and you have 70 marks of practical theory. You still have this pattern going on. Case studies is still a part of syllabus. No negative markings are in picture right now. So therefore, if I have to summarize it, what I'm noticing is finals is now becoming a more specific kind of syllabus, where they have scraped out every individual level provisions, which will now move to inter-level, and the syllabus will be shortened. But at the same time, you have 4 extra things coming in pertaining to your digitalization, your Black Money Act, your tax audit report, and your new changes in international taxation. At the same time, like I told you, a lot of syllabus is now going to be these optimizing tax liability, which means practical scenario kind of questions are more likely to come rather than the old fashioned where they'll give you a set of adjustments and they'll ask you to do plus and minus. The plus and minus model is gone, at least it'll be there, but it will not be so significant as compared to what is being expected in the new syllabus. So therefore, new syllabus is going to be a lot more interesting, at least for the faculty to teach you, but it will be a lot more challenging for you to grasp it and take it up, which is why I think the 2 years of practical training is very important. Use your articleship properly, people. Learn to the best extent possible and then come out for your finals. If you are expecting that you will do dummy articleship, you will do everything as and when it's possible, you will focus only on exams and all, I'm sorry, this is not the syllabus which you'll be able to clear with that. The reason why they're giving you 6 months of study holidays right now is because they want you to exhaustively use your practical training articleship. Work hard, get your knowledge, then come for 6 months and use it effectively, then only you write your exams. Things are that kind of understanding and knowledge right now, and I expect you to work on those same models as well. Anyway, like I said, the study material is still not notified, so the moment the study material is notified, I will be pulling out a next video and giving you what the study material looks like. But until then, that's all from my side. Take care, people. Have a great day.